let's talk about Rita. She's been out for a while. I've been using her quite a bit. I don't have her fully built. As you can see, I'm less than 50% crit chance. Kind of hard to do. Rita is a really good character. You want to build her as a DPS, and there are 3 different ways of building her for her deck. But otherwise, aim for a main DPS role. You kind of want a character that gives her AP because she can be a little selfish despite her feature that kind of compensates for her being kind of AP hungry. So we'll start off with her team first. So Rita, or at least the team that I use, Rita, Mika. I get 2 AP every time I use Source of Water with her. Add Deluge, and the fact that this deck is lean, I can gain quite a bit of AP from her. And the other thing that benefits Rita as well is draw. So I tend to use my Veronica. Lots of repose, draw 2 from other combatants really does help. But you could also use Tefera. I see a lot of people use Tefera because she can help you gain some AP. That being said, if you are using Tefera, I'd recommend, and I don't actually have this, is that your Quantum Seed has a Divine Epiphany with draw, and that you get this Epiphany because then you get a draw 1. So if you get this draw plus another draw, that's nice. Or you can get the draw plus the Divine Epiphany that gives AP to gain even more AP. Otherwise, I'd recommend sticking to Veronica instead, just for the draw. The other way you can compensate with having Tefera with Mika is if Mika also has the draw Divine Epiphany with her 0 cost card. So that's kind of like some basic easy teams to go for. There are definitely other options that you can play around with. You can also do Rita with 9 as well. But as for Rita, the cards you kind of want to go for, there are kind of 3 ways you can build her. One, and the one I don't use, is the one where you actually take advantage of her time acceleration basic attacks, paired up specifically with this Chrono Circle upgrade card where you get all your basic cards into your hand. So this one would be the aim to go for that one build. And then the other way you want to go about this is duping Chrono Circle as well as Future Decree to get a balance, because if you just dupe Chrono Circle, you end up creating too many Fate imprints in your hand. Future Decree, you kind of want to have a balance between the 2, and you can just focus on duping that. And the more popular one is actually duping Time Axis Collapse, particularly with this Epiphany over here. This is by far the best for DPS and works pretty well. You could also do a bit of a hybrid, especially if your RNG is being weird, where you dupe Chrono Circle, Future Decree, and Time Axis 1 each as well, if you so choose, or if your RNG just kind of pulls that off, you can play that around as well. Now, being a Renault main myself, I did try building her with this Epiphany instead, where it increases each 1 cost or lower card in hand, Renault making a bunch of 1 cost Dirge Bullets. I thought that would work. The only problem about this Epiphany in particular is that you are limited to 10 cards in your hand, so that is a hard cap on your potential damage. Whereas with Time Axis Collapse, you could end up, the cap is a lot higher. The ceiling for this is a lot higher, especially with Rita, where you could have, in a very crazy situation, having her imprint cards, a bunch of them at 9 cost, which would make Time Axis Collapse do incredibly insane amount of damage. Although there is a cap of 200 because we don't want to make her too OP, because she is going to be put into standard banner once her banner is done. So that's kind of the basics of Rita and how to build her deck. Let's talk about her partner Ivy. I have her. It is definitely her best in slot without a doubt. However, if you're free to play, don't have a lot of pulls, I would actually recommend that you do not, or have the choice of skipping her, waiting for her to pull on standard, or buying her at the shop, because Eloise is good enough at max copies. 16 attack, 20% on that, and 24 for 1 turn is already a little better. The way Ivy works, you could skip her. Eloise is good enough, but if you like Ivy for whatever reason, or you just want to complete her best in slot, go for it. Or you can, if you have the patience, just wait for her to hit the shop or hit the standard banner. It is not a must pull. If you want to save up for the next character, I would advise you save your crystals and pull for Ivy at either the shop or at the standard banner for partners. Okay, so for potential, unless unless you're building the build where you're using normal attacks with Rita, you can totally skip this one completely. But if you intend to use the basic attack one, then you definitely want to go for this one. If you're struggling to get 800 attack, then you can remember to hold off on this and start building the other ones first. But once you hit 800 attack, then this one is definitely worth grabbing. Definitely focus on crit chance first, unique cards, and critical damage proficiency. You can ignore common card upgrade. This one you only really need to level up if you're going for the normal attack build, obviously. And this one I mostly get so that chaos runs are a little bit easier at the beginning more than anything else. So that's how you deal with her for the potential. I'm still not done, obviously. Memory fragments. This one is hands down her best choice. You get more critical chance for 2 costs or more, so she can deal a lot of crit attacks. I go with the attack 2-piece set because I want to try and get 800 attack. If you can get 800 attack saws these memory fragments, then go for the crit damage one instead. And that's basically how you build her. And that's kind of like the basics of Rita. 3 different builds, relatively easy, a little bit RNG dependent on the chaos runs, but pretty easy to build.